Welcome to Sleep Faster, your quiet place to rest, relax, and drift away into peaceful dreams. Here you'll find calming sleep stories, gentle words, and soft sounds designed to help your mind slow down and your body let go. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to unwind. You are safe, you are calm, and sleep is already on its way. Sweet dreams. Welcome, dear listener. Before we begin tonight's story, let's prepare your mind and body for rest. Find a comfortable position, whether lying in your bed or sitting somewhere soft and safe. Let your body sink into the surface beneath you. Take a deep breath in and out slowly. Now gently place the tip of your thumb and your index finger together. Roll your index finger in slow, round circles. Notice the simple rhythm. This small motion helps your mind calm down and focus only on the present. Continue to breathe deeply, in and out. Your eyelids feel heavier. Your body feels lighter. You are safe here. You are calm. You are ready. And now the story begins. Part 1. The Arrival. The train moved slowly, groaning as if every wheel protested against the tracks. It came to a soft stop at the little coastal station. Clara Hemsley stepped down, carefully, her boots making gentle echoes on the wooden platform. The village of Greyhaven lay ahead, wrapped in pale morning fog, curling low like soft, gray waves over cobblestone streets. The air smelled of salt and damp earth, faintly sweet, from the seaweed clinging to the rocks nearby. Somewhere in the distance the sea groaned, a low, steady heartbeat beneath the silence. Clara pulled her coat closer, shivering slightly. The village seemed almost deserted. Only a few windows glowed faintly with light. A cold breeze whispered, rustling the signs above the shuttered shops. She adjusted her bag and took another step. Her destination was Seabourne House, a Victorian home at the edge of the village. The villagers had warned her. It was too quiet, too old, too full of stories. But Clara had come for peace. She wanted silence, shadows, the kind of quiet where the past whispered softly. If you listened carefully, the walk to the house stretched on, the fog growing thicker, curling around her ankles. Every step muffled by silence, broken only by the soft crunch of gravel beneath her boots. She thought she saw shapes in the mist, fleeting shadows moving just out of focus. Her heart quickened, but each time she looked, they vanished. "It's only the fog," she whispered to herself. Through the haze, the house finally appeared, looming. Dark, patient. Its roof pointed sharply into the gray sky. Ivy clung to stone walls, tangled and wild. The windows narrow, staring like tired eyes. The wrought iron gate cold beneath her fingers. It creaked, slowly as she pushed it open, the sound sharp in the quiet. The garden was overgrown, wild with brambles, with ivy climbing into strange shapes. A stone birdbath held rainwater, leaves floating on its surface. Clara paused, listening. The fog pressed closer, heavy. Muffling distant waves, she shivered, not from cold, but from feeling that something was watching. Inside, the house was colder, almost metallic. The scent of old wood, mixed with salt, hung in the air. The floors creaked softly beneath her feet as she explored. Dust motes drifted in the pale light, sparkling briefly as they caught the sun. The hallway was wide, lined with faded portraits, eyes that seemed to follow her every move. A grandfather clock stood, silent. Its pendulum frozen mid-swing, time seemed to have stopped here. She noticed the staircase leading up, creaking with each step. Doors on the upper floor slightly ajar, inviting curious glances. The furniture was heavy, covered in pale sheets like soft ghosts draped over memories. A mirror reflected only dim light, and for a heartbeat, she thought, she saw another figure. She turned, nothing, only shadows moving with the candlelight. Evening approached, slowly, deliberately. Clara lit a fire in the study hearth. Flames cast long shadows crawling along walls. She unpacked her notebooks, placing them gently on the desk. The room smelled of cedar, candle wax, and old paper. A calm settled over her, even with the chill. It was when she knelt to place her bag beneath the desk that she noticed it. A floorboard, slightly raised. Curious, she pressed down. It shifted easily. Beneath, a hollow space, small, dark, waiting. Inside, wrapped in brittle paper, tied with faded twine, was a leather-bound book. Clara's fingers trembled slightly. She touched it, feeling the chill of the leather. It was a journal, old, personal, not published. Her heart beat faster. Something in her gut told her it had been waiting for her. She carried it to the desk, opened it slowly, carefully. The first line, delicate, slanted handwriting made her pause. To whoever finds this, know that you are not alone in this house. The words seemed to hum softly in the quiet room. She read further, page after page. The journal belonged to a woman, Evelyn Gray, from 1943. At first, her entries were ordinary, daily life, cooking, sewing, the wind, the waves. But slowly, an unease seeped through the words. Evelyn wrote of shadows at the edge of vision, of whispers carried by the fog, of a presence, watching, always watching. Clara felt a shiver, mixed with excitement. Each page darker, more urgent. Evelyn mentioned footsteps in empty rooms, objects moving, strange noises, and the locked door in the cellar. She feared it. She dared not open it. Clara looked out the study window. The fog had thickened, curling around the house, like fingers reaching. She shivered again, not from cold, but from anticipation. Hours passed, slowly, each page a heartbeat. The fog pressed closer, muffling the world outside. She read of hidden compartments, strange symbols, whispers that floated in the very air. By midnight, she finally closed the journal. Her heart raced, yet beneath it a calm settled. She placed the book on the desk, sitting back, letting the fire's warmth seep into her bones. The house was quiet, too quiet, yet alive, watching, waiting. Outside, shapes moved within the fog, indistinct, whispering secrets. Clara drifted towards sleep, imagining Evelyn's eyes on her. Not in menace, but in recognition. Someone had been waiting for her, waiting for the story to continue. Part 2, The Journal and Early Mystery. Clara awoke to the soft murmur of fog against the tall windows, a gentle, almost soothing sound, like whispers drifting from the distant sea. The sunlight was pale, diffused by the mist, spilling slowly through the high windows, touching the furniture with a cold, silvery glow. She stretched, slowly, every muscle aware, every breath deliberate. Her fingers brushed lightly against the journal, still resting on the desk, waiting, quietly. The leather cover was cool beneath her touch, worn, soft, and mysterious. She lifted it gently, feeling its weight, the way it seemed to hold a presence. Opening the cover, the first words greeted her again, written in delicate, precise handwriting. To whoever finds this, know that you are not alone in this house. She traced the letters with her fingertip, imagining Evelyn's hand, moving carefully, trembling slightly as she wrote. Each line a soft vibration in the quiet room, each word carrying emotion, fear, hope, a sense of urgency. The initial entries seemed ordinary. Daily observations, meals, letters, the weather, small, safe details. Part 3, The Stranger and Early Clues. The next morning, Clara woke slowly to the gentle sound of rain tapping on the windows. Soft, rhythmic, almost musical. She stretched, feeling the tension in her shoulders ease, every movement careful, deliberate, every breath slow, mindful. The journal lay on the desk, leather cool beneath her fingers, waiting quietly as if it knew she would return. She opened it again, tracing the delicate handwriting, imagining Evelyn sitting at a desk many years ago, candlelight flickering, shadows stretching across the walls. The previous day's entries lingered in Clara's mind, whispers of the fog outside, shadows shifting, and the sense of being observed by something unknown. She turned a page and noticed a new entry, written in slightly hurried handwriting. He comes at dusk, dark eyes, quiet presence. I do not know him, yet he seems to appear wherever I am. Clara paused, holding her breath for a moment, imagining a figure standing in the misty garden, silent, watching, waiting. A gentle shiver ran through her spine, slow and deliberate, not frightening, but full of curiosity. She pictured him now, tall, coat damp from the fog, hat shading his face, standing quietly in the distance, always observing, always still. The journal spoke of subtle clues Evelyn had noticed. Footprints in the damp earth, doors left slightly open, objects in different positions than she remembered. Clara imagined herself walking carefully through the garden, fog curling around her ankles, each step deliberate, aware, yet calm. Hours seemed to pass unnoticed in Seabourne House, time flowing differently, stretched by quiet and fog. The mist pressed softly against the windows, heavy yet comforting. Every small sound seemed amplified. The drip of rain from the eaves, the scrape of a branch, distant waves rolling in rhythmic cadence. Evelyn's entries described small discoveries, hidden notes tucked behind books, keys left in unusual places, tiny symbols carved into the walls. Clara traced each detail in her mind, imagining the thrill of uncovering secrets, gently lifting floorboards, finding hidden compartments. The journal hinted at a secret of the house, something important yet mysterious. Clara felt the pull, the gentle tug of curiosity, the irresistible lure of discovery. She read about nights when Evelyn noticed movements in the house. Small, deliberate motions, shifting shadows, sounds in the hallways. Clara pictured the rooms in her mind. Long corridors, floorboards creaking lightly, shadows stretching in the candlelight. As evening approached, Clara lit the fireplace, a soft flame flickering in the hearth, casting warm light across the room. She imagined Evelyn sitting here long ago, reading, writing, feeling the house around her. Every sound magnified in the quiet. The journal described the quiet visitor, appearing in the village at dusk, observing silently. Clara pictured the fog curling around the figure, moving softly through the mist, blending with it. She walked to the window and peered outside, the garden shrouded in pale mist, soft shapes forming and dissolving. Her heartbeat remained calm, slow, measured, aware. She imagined the figure's presence, always near, watching, curious. The journal spoke of symbols, etched on walls, tucked into hidden compartments. Clara traced them in her imagination, imagining shapes curling, twisting, waiting to be discovered. The visitor, a quiet observer, blending with fog and shadows, part of the mystery. Time passed, measured only by the flickering candle and the soft rhythm of rain against the windows. Clara closed her eyes, letting the story fill her mind. Shapes, shadows, soft movements, the quiet presence of the visitor. The journal hinted at small tasks Evelyn had attempted, careful observations, drawing symbols, noting patterns. Clara imagined her own hands tracing these clues, feeling the textures of the walls, the floorboards, following the hints left long ago. The entries reflected a balance of curiosity and caution, Evelyn noticing small wonders, little mysteries, and yet respecting the quiet of the house. Clara felt the same, a gentle thrill, calm anticipation, awareness of the unknown. She pictured soft footsteps echoing through the halls, shadows shifting just at the edge of vision, the rocking chair in the corner moving slightly as if nudged by a gentle breeze, the candlelight flickering, revealing shapes in the corners of the room. Clara breathed slowly, in and out, steady, calm, aware. Her imagination painted every detail, every shadow, every sound, every subtle hint of movement. The quiet visitor, tall, still, patient, a shadow in the fog. The journal described Evelyn's careful investigations, marking floors, doors, and hidden compartments. Clara could picture herself following the same trail, lifting floorboards, peering behind tapestries, discovering subtle secrets. Night deepened, the fog pressing closer, curling through the house, soft, persistent. Clara lit another candle, small flame dancing in the darkness, casting gentle shadows. She felt the house breathe around her. The quiet rhythm of fog and mystery filling her senses. Evelyn wrote of observing patterns, symbols repeating, movements in the fog, small signals meant to guide. Clara traced them in her imagination, fingers moving gently over the imagined etchings. The quiet visitor always near, never intrusive. Hours passed. Time became soft, fluid, measured only by the flickering light and the gentle rhythm of her breathing. Clara closed her eyes, letting the house, the fog, and the mysteries fill her mind. Shapes emerged in her imagination, shadows stretching, gentle motions, soft hints. The journal hinted at a moment of discovery, Evelyn piecing together the signs, noticing patterns in the fog, in the visitor's presence. Clara imagined herself moving carefully through the rooms, tracing symbols, uncovering secrets, quietly, patiently. Evening became night, the fog pressing closer, curling through the windows, moving around the garden. Clara lit another candle, warm light flickering, shadows dancing along the walls. She felt the house's calm, the fog's gentle rhythm, the quiet presence, all inviting her deeper into the story. The journal reflected Evelyn's patience and attentiveness, the careful observations of patterns, the enjoyment of small mysteries. Clara felt the same, a gentle excitement, a soft awareness, the slow unfolding of discovery. She pictured soft movements, shadows stretching along hallways, shapes curling just out of sight, the candlelight flickering, revealing gentle outlines, the quiet visitor blending with fog, patient, watching, guiding. Her breathing remained calm, measured, slow, in and out. The quiet presence, the fog, the house, all part of the story, part of her imagination. Vivid and real. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather cover, feeling the connection, the anticipation. The rocking chair in the corner now still, the fog outside pressing against the windows, soft, quiet, gentle. And Clara, part of the story, part of Seabourn House, part of the unfolding mystery. Night deepened, the fog heavy, curling through the rooms. Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open, secrets waiting. Shapes in her mind, shadows imagined. The quiet visitor, patient, still, waiting, guiding. And Clara, finally, surrendered to rest, calm, secure, ready for the next chapter. Part 4, Fog and Shadows. The next morning, Clara woke to a soft, gentle fog curling around the house. Thick, silver mist drifting slowly across the garden. She stretched her arms, fingers reaching toward the ceiling, letting her body wake slowly, deliberately, each breath deep and measured. The journal lay on the desk, leather smooth and cool under her fingertips, waiting patiently, quietly. Opening it, Clara traced the familiar handwriting, delicate, precise, like whispers on the page. She imagined Evelyn here long ago, candlelight flickering, shadows dancing across the walls, shapes shifting in the corners of her vision. The previous entries lingered in her mind, subtle hints of a quiet presence, fog curling around the house, movements barely noticed. Clara felt herself drawn in again, her mind painting the scenes with soft, slow strokes. Turning the page, she discovered new notes about the fog. It moves like water, soft and heavy, curling around the house, hiding shapes, shifting gently, always watching. Her mind painted soft silhouettes, shadows stretching along hallways, shapes curling just beyond sight. The candlelight flickered, revealing gentle outlines, the quiet presence blending with fog, patient, calm. Clara breathed slowly, in and out, steady, calm, aware. Her imagination filled every corner of the house. Shadows, shapes, hints, patterns, all soft, gentle, inviting. The journal hinted at small discoveries. Evelyn piecing together symbols, tracing objects, noticing patterns in the fog. Clara imagined herself following each clue carefully, lifting floorboards, moving panels, uncovering subtle hints, all calm, measured, slow. Night deepened, the fog pressed closer, curling through the rooms, soft, persistent. Clara lit another candle, warm light flickering, shadows dancing, shapes forming gently in her imagination. She imagined the house alive with quiet rhythms, subtle shifts in the shadows, soft movements, gentle sounds. The journal reflected Evelyn's careful patience, her enjoyment of discovering small mysteries. Clara felt the same, a soft thrill, a calm anticipation, awareness of the subtle, quiet presence in the house. Shapes and shadows moved slowly in her mind, the candlelight flickering softly, the fog curling gently. Hours passed, time became fluid, measured only by the soft fluffed flicker of candlelight and the gentle of her breathing. Clara closed her eyes, letting the fog, the shadows, and the quiet presence fill her mind. Shapes emerged, silhouettes, gentle movements, subtle hints, soft, calming, rhythmic. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather, feeling the connection, the anticipation. The rocking chair remained still, the fog outside pressed gently against the windows, soft, quiet, slow. And Clara, part of the house, part of the unfolding story, part of the calm mystery. Night deepened, the fog thickened. Curling softly through the rooms, Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open, secrets waiting, shapes in her mind, shadows imagined, the quiet presence, patient, still, guiding, gentle. And Clara surrendered to rest, calm, secure, ready for the next chapter. Part 5, Hidden Room and Discovery. The morning light drifted softly through the fog, pale, silvery beams touching the walls, spreading slowly across the floor. Clara stretched, letting each muscle awaken gradually, each breath deep and steady, the quiet rhythm of the house surrounding her. The journal lay open on the desk, waiting, patient, familiar. She traced the soft leather cover with her fingers, feeling its gentle texture and the sense of connection it offered. Opening the pages, she discovered new notes from Evelyn, delicate, careful handwriting, describing the day she had begun noticing hidden spaces. I found a panel behind the bookshelf. Small, unassuming, almost missed it, but it seems to lead somewhere, a place forgotten, waiting. Clara paused, imagining the bookshelf, tall, heavy, shadows stretching behind it, soft light flickering across the floor. She pictured herself moving slowly, gently, her fingers tracing the edges of the panel, sliding it open with care, revealing a small hidden space. The journal described the thrill of discovery, the gentle excitement, the quiet wonder of uncovering something hidden. Clara felt that same thrill, soft, slow, deliberate, each detail vivid in her mind. Evelyn wrote of dust motes dancing in the sunlight, motes catching the light as she leaned into the hidden space, objects carefully wrapped in cloth, letters folded neatly, small, delicate items. Clara traced each scene in her imagination, the smell of old paper, the cool touch of leather, the quiet hush of the hidden room. Hours passed, measured only by the slow flicker of candlelight and the gentle rhythm of her breathing. Outside, the fog pressed softly against the windows. Curling around the house, thick, silver, whispering in the quiet. The journal hinted at a secret that Evelyn had yet to uncover fully, something important, but subtle. Clara imagined herself moving deeper into the room, lifting a small box, opening it slowly, each item revealing a story. Gentle hints left behind. The hidden room was small, walls lined with shelves, objects placed with care, symbols etched lightly into the wood, notes tucked between pages. Clara could see it clearly in her mind. Soft shadows stretching across the corners, candlelight flickering, floorboards creaking under gentle weight. Evelyn had written about the patterns she began to notice, items grouped in certain ways, symbols repeated, small clues arranged carefully. Clara traced them in her imagination, fingertips moving slowly over imagined shapes, aware, calm, attentive. The fog outside thickened, curling around the garden. Pressing softly against the windows, Clara lit a candle, its flame small, flickering, casting soft shadows, warm, gentle, comforting. She imagined Evelyn here long ago, moving quietly, placing objects, noting patterns, tracing symbols, patient, calm. The journal described the feeling of being observed, not threatening, just present, quiet, still, always near. Clara pictured the calm presence, a gentle awareness, blending with fog and shadows, never intrusive, a soft companion. Hours passed. The hidden room revealed its secrets slowly, small discoveries, each detail adding to the story. Clara imagined lifting floorboards, finding tiny compartments, letters folded neatly, symbols etched into wood, hints left by someone careful, deliberate. Evening approached, the fog curling through the house, brushing softly against the walls, whispering in quiet rhythms. Clara lit another candle, warm light dancing, shadows stretching, shapes forming gently in her imagination. The journal described Evelyn noticing patterns in the symbols, small movements in the hidden room, objects rearranged subtly, soft hints for those who would follow. Clara imagined herself following the same clues, tracing symbols, moving gently, discovering the story slowly, carefully. The house seemed alive with quiet rhythm, every creak of floorboards, every whisper of the fog, deliberate, slow, calming. Clara's heartbeat matched the rhythm in and out, steady, measured, aware, calm. She read of Evelyn's careful patience, how she learned to observe without rushing, how each detail mattered. Small symbols, tiny notes, delicate objects. Clara imagined herself learning the same rhythm, moving slowly, noticing, tracing, uncovering, patiently, deliberately. The hidden room held more than objects. It held stories, whispers of the past, small mysteries, gentle puzzles. Clara pictured each item. Letters yellowed with age, objects worn, symbols etched into wood, subtle, soft, mysterious. Night deepened. The fog pressed closer, curling softly through the house, thickening in quiet waves. Clara lit another candle, soft flame flickering, casting gentle light across the walls. She imagined Evelyn moving quietly through the hidden room, lifting items, noting patterns, tracing symbols, patient, calm, aware. The journal hinted at a gentle mystery, something to be discovered over time. Slowly, carefully, Clara traced the clues in her mind, imagining herself following Evelyn's footsteps, lifting floorboards, moving objects, uncovering hints, each step calm, deliberate. Hours passed, time became fluid, measured only by candlelight and the gentle rhythm of her breathing. Clara closed her eyes, letting the fog, the shadows, the hidden room, and its secrets fill her imagination. Shapes emerged, soft silhouettes, subtle movements, patterns in the shadows. Gentle, rhythmic, calming. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather, feeling the connection, the anticipation. The rocking chair in the corner remained still. The fog pressed softly against the windows, curling gently. And Clara, part of the house, part of the story, part of the calm mystery. Night deepened, the fog thickened, curling through the room, soft, gentle, persistent. Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open. Secrets waiting, shapes in her mind, shadows imagined, the hidden room, patient, silent, full of soft whispers and gentle hints. And Clara, surrendered to rest, calm, secure, ready for the next chapter. Part 6. The puzzle deepens and fog outside. The morning was quiet, almost still. The fog hung low over Seabourne House, curling slowly through the garden, soft, thick, silver mist. Clara stretched gently, letting her body wake slowly, every movement deliberate, every breath steady, mindful, calm. The journal lay open on the desk, leather smooth beneath her fingertips, waiting, patient, familiar. She ran her fingers lightly over the cover, feeling its texture, imagining the hands that had held it before. Turning the pages, Clara discovered new entries. Delicate handwriting, careful, precise, describing patterns in the house, subtle hints left in symbols, objects, and shadows. The fog hides more than it reveals. Shapes appear and vanish, symbols rearrange themselves. The house has a rhythm of its own, and I am learning it slowly. Clara paused, closing her eyes, picturing the fog outside, drifting across the garden, curling along the walls, brushing softly against the windows. She felt it in her imagination, soft, weightless, gentle, alive, but calm. The journal described subtle movements, objects slightly shifted, small notes tucked in different places. Clara imagined herself following each hint, moving slowly, lifting floorboards, tracing symbols with her fingertips, noticing details, soft, gentle, deliberate. Hours passed, measured only by candlelight and the quiet rhythm of her breathing. Outside, the fog pressed against the house, curling through the garden, moving in slow waves, soft and persistent. Evelyn had written about discovering a pattern, symbols repeated in corners, objects placed to form gentle sequences. Clara traced them in her imagination, fingertips moving slowly over the imagined shapes. Patient, calm, aware. The house seemed alive with quiet rhythm. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the fog, deliberate, slow, gentle. Clara's heartbeat matched the soft, steady rhythm, in and out, slow, measured, calm. The journal hinted at small puzzles, subtle arrangements, objects paired with symbols, items placed with thought. Clara imagined herself following the clues, lifting panels, moving objects, noticing details. Each step careful, slow, and deliberate. Evening approached. The fog thickened, curling through the windows. Brushing softly along the walls, whispering in quiet rhythms. Clara lit a candle, its flame flickering gently, shadows stretching, forming soft, moving shapes across the walls. The journal described Evelyn noticing gentle movements in the house, shadows stretching, shapes shifting, patterns forming in the quiet. Clara pictured herself walking slowly through hallways, tracing patterns, lifting objects, discovering hints, each movement calm and measured. Hours passed. The fog pressing close, curling through the house, soft, persistent. Clara lit another candle. Warm light flickering, casting gentle shadows, shapes forming slowly in her mind. The journal hinted at a gentle presence in the house, always near, observing, patient, never intrusive. Clara imagined this presence, blending with fog and shadows, quiet, calm, a soft guide through the story. She read about Evelyn noticing small clues in the fog, patterns emerging, objects slightly moved. Letters repositioned, subtle hints left behind. Clara traced them in her mind, following slowly, carefully, aware, calm. The house seemed alive, filled with soft rhythms, subtle movements, gentle sounds. Clara felt the same rhythm, her heartbeat steady, her breathing slow, measured, calm. Night deepened, the fog pressed against the windows, curling softly through the house. Clara lit another candle, soft flame flickering, casting delicate shadows, warm, gentle, comforting. The journal reflected Evelyn's patience, her careful observation of patterns, her enjoyment of small discoveries. Clara felt the same, soft thrill, gentle anticipation, awareness of the subtle presence, calm, steady. Hours passed. Time became fluid, measured only by candlelight and the rhythm of Clara's breathing. She closed her eyes, letting the fog, shadows, and hidden patterns fill her imagination. Shapes emerged, soft silhouettes, subtle movements, gentle, rhythmic, calming. The journal hinted at small secrets waiting to be uncovered. Evelyn piecing together symbols, tracing objects, noticing subtle shifts in the fog. Clara imagined following the clues, lifting floorboards, moving panels, uncovering gentle hints. Each step slow, deliberate, calm. Night deepened further. Fog thickened, curling through rooms, pressing softly, gently. Clara lit another candle. Warm light flickering, soft shadows dancing, shapes forming slowly in her mind. The house seemed to breathe, every floorboard creak, every whisper of fog, deliberate, calm. Clara's imagination traced soft silhouettes, shadows stretching along hallways, shapes curling just out of sight. The journal hinted at small discoveries in hidden corners, Evelyn noting patterns, tracing symbols, arranging objects. Clara pictured herself moving carefully, noticing details, lifting objects, uncovering gentle stories, each step calm and measured. Hours passed, measured only by candlelight and the rhythm of her breathing. Clara closed her eyes, letting the fog, shadows, and subtle patterns fill her mind. Shapes emerged, soft silhouettes, gentle movements, calm, slow, rhythmic. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather, feeling the connection, anticipation. The rocking chair remained still, the fog pressed softly against the windows, curling gently. And Clara, part of the house, part of the story. Part of the calm mystery. Night deepened, the fog thickened, curling softly through the rooms, gentle, persistent. Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open, secrets waiting, shapes in her mind, shadows imagined. The subtle presence, patient, still, guiding, gentle. And Clara surrendered to rest, calm, secure, ready for the next chapter. Part 7, Secret Passage and Hidden Messages. The morning fog lingered, soft and silver, curling gently around Seabourne House, drifting slowly across the garden, brushing against windows, soft and quiet. Clara stretched, letting each muscle awaken slowly, every movement deliberate, each breath steady, mindful, calm. The journal lay on the desk, leather smooth beneath her fingertips, waiting, patient, familiar. She ran her fingers lightly over the cover, feeling the texture, imagining the hands that had held it long ago. Opening the pages, Clara discovered new entries, careful, precise handwriting, describing discoveries of secret passages, subtle clues hidden in walls and floors. Behind the old tapestry, a small door, almost invisible, leading to a passage forgotten, quiet, still, waiting to be explored. Clara paused, imagining the tapestry, heavy, worn, shadows stretching behind it, the faint outline of a hidden door. She pictured herself moving slowly, gently, brushing her fingers along the fabric, discovering the small door, sliding it open carefully, revealing the passage beyond. The journal spoke of quiet exploration, the thrill of discovering hidden spaces, gentle excitement, calm anticipation. Clara felt that same excitement, soft, slow, deliberate, each detail vivid in her imagination. Evelyn wrote of the passage, narrow, winding, walls lined with faint symbols, floorboards smooth but creaking softly. Clara imagined moving through it, slow, careful steps, each sound amplified in the quiet, shadows stretching along the walls, shapes shifting subtly. Hours passed, measured only by candlelight and the soft rhythm of her breathing. Outside, the fog pressed against the house, curling through the garden, soft, thick, silver mist. The journal described symbols etched into the walls, small, careful markings, patterns repeating, messages hidden in plain sight. Clara traced them in her imagination, fingertips moving slowly over imagined shapes, aware, calm, attentive. Evening approached. The fog thickened, curling through the windows, brushing along the walls, whispering in quiet rhythms. Clara lit a candle, small flame flickering, casting soft shadows, shapes moving gently across the walls. The journal hinted at gentle messages hidden in objects along the passage, folded notes tucked into nooks, small items arranged with care. Clara imagined lifting a note, unfolding it slowly, discovering soft, subtle hints, gentle guidance from the past. The house seemed alive with quiet rhythm. Every floorboard creak, every whisper of fog, deliberate, slow, soothing. Clara's heartbeat matched the rhythm, in and out, calm, measured, steady. She read about Evelyn following the messages, tracing symbols, noting patterns, small discoveries adding to a gentle puzzle. Clara pictured herself moving through the passage, slow, deliberate, noticing each detail, lifting small floorboards, discovering letters, soft clues. The fog outside thickened further, curling along the garden, brushing against windows, moving in gentle waves. Clara lit another candle, its flame flickering, casting soft light across the walls, shadows stretching, forming delicate, moving shapes. The journal described Evelyn noticing small movements, subtle shifts in objects, patterns appearing and disappearing. Clara imagined following these patterns, tracing symbols, lifting objects, uncovering soft messages, each step calm and measured. Hours passed, the fog pressing close, curling through the house, soft, persistent. Clara lit another candle, warm, gentle flame flickering, casting delicate shadows, shapes forming slowly in her imagination. The journal hinted at a quiet presence in the house, patient, still, observing, guiding. Clara pictured this presence, blending with shadows and fog, calm, gentle, never intrusive, a subtle companion. She read about Evelyn discovering small hidden messages, notes folded carefully, symbols arranged with thought, subtle hints left behind. Clara traced them in her mind, following slowly, carefully aware, calm. The house seemed alive with gentle rhythms, subtle movements, quiet sounds. Clara felt herself attuned to the rhythm, heartbeat slow, breathing steady, calm. Night deepened. The fog pressed against the windows, curling softly through the rooms. Clara lit another candle, soft flame flickering, casting gentle light, shadows stretching along walls, shapes forming slowly. The journal reflected Evelyn's careful patience, observing patterns, discovering small mysteries, enjoying the subtle puzzle. Clara felt the same, soft thrill, gentle anticipation. Awareness of subtle presence, calm, steady. Hours passed, time became fluid, measured only by candlelight and Clara's steady breathing. She closed her eyes, letting the fog, shadows, secret passage, and hidden messages fill her imagination. Shapes emerged, soft silhouettes, gentle movements, subtle hints, calm, slow, rhythmic. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather, feeling connection, anticipation. The rocking chair remained still. Fog pressed softly against windows, curling gently. And Clara, part of the house, part of the story, part of the calm mystery. Night deepened, fog thickened, curling softly through rooms, soft, gentle, persistent. Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open, secrets waiting, shapes in her mind, shadows imagined. The secret passage, patient, quiet, full of soft whispers and gentle hints. And Clara surrendered to rest, secure. Ready for the next chapter. Part 8. The final clues and calm resolution. The morning fog lingered gently, curling through the garden, soft silver mist drifting across the windows, brushing along the walls. Clara stretched, letting her body wake slowly, every movement deliberate, each breath calm, steady, mindful. The quiet rhythm of Seabourne House surrounded her, soft creaks of floorboards, the faint whisper of wind, subtle, soothing. The journal lay open on the desk, leather smooth beneath her fingertips. Familiar, patient, waiting. Clara ran her fingers lightly over it, feeling the texture, imagining Evelyn's hands holding it long ago. Turning the pages, she found new entries. Careful, precise handwriting, describing the final clues. Subtle patterns, hidden messages, gentle puzzles. The house whispers its secrets, each shadow, each symbol, a quiet story. If one listens carefully, patiently, slowly. Clara paused, closing her eyes for a moment, picturing the soft shadows stretching across the rooms, the fog curling outside, shapes forming and dissolving. She felt a sense of calm curiosity, gentle anticipation, soft excitement. The journal described Evelyn piecing together the final patterns, symbols aligning, messages discovered, objects revealing their stories. Clara imagined herself following the same path, slow, careful steps, tracing symbols, lifting small floorboards, noticing every gentle detail. Hours passed. Measured only by candlelight and the soft rhythm of her breathing. The fog pressed softly against the house, curling along the garden, moving in quiet, deliberate waves. Evelyn had written about observing the quiet presence in the house, patient, still, never intrusive, a subtle guide through the mystery. Clara pictured this presence, blending with fog and shadows, calm, gentle, comforting. Evening approached, the fog thickened, curling through the windows, brushing softly along walls, whispering in gentle rhythms. Clara lit a candle, its small flame flickering, casting delicate, soft shadows, shapes forming slowly across the walls. The journal hinted at the final discovery, a subtle arrangement of objects, letters tucked carefully, symbols etched gently. Clara imagined uncovering them, lifting each piece slowly, discovering the story, following the gentle trail of clues, calm, patient, deliberate. The house seemed alive, breathing softly, every floorboard creak, every whisper of fog, deliberate, gentle, soothing. Clara's heartbeat matched the rhythm, in and out, steady, measured, slow. She read about Evelyn noticing the last patterns, connecting symbols, aligning objects, revealing the story hidden in plain sight. Clara pictured herself tracing each symbol, lifting each item, following the gentle puzzle, uncovering the final message. Hours passed, the fog pressing closer, curling through the house, soft, persistent. Clara lit another candle, warm, gentle light, flickering, casting delicate shadows, shapes forming slowly in her imagination. The journal spoke of Evelyn's patience, her calm observation, the quiet thrill of discovery, the the subtle satisfaction of solving the gentle puzzle. Clara felt the same, soft excitement, gentle anticipation, calm, steady awareness of each clue. Night deepened, the fog thickened, curling through the rooms, brushing softly along the walls. Clara lit another candle, small flame flickering, shadows stretching along walls, soft shapes moving slowly in her imagination. The house seemed alive with quiet rhythm. Subtle shifts in shadows, gentle sounds, soft whispers. Clara felt attuned to the rhythm, heartbeat slow, breathing steady, calm, measured. The journal hinted at the resolution, symbols aligned, objects revealing their story, letters unfolded, secrets quietly shared. Clara imagined herself observing, tracing each clue, lifting small compartments, following the gentle guidance, slowly, deliberately. Hours passed, measured only by candlelight and the rhythm of her calm breathing. Clara closed her eyes, letting the fog, shadows, symbols, and hidden messages fill her mind. Shapes emerged, soft silhouettes, gentle movements, subtle hints, calm, rhythmic, soothing. Finally, she set the journal down, fingers resting lightly on the leather, feeling the connection, the anticipation. The gentle satisfaction. The rocking chair remained still, the fog pressed softly against the windows, curling gently. And Clara, part of the house, part of the story, part of the calm mystery. Night deepened further. The fog thickened, curling softly through the rooms, persistent, gentle. Clara closed her eyes, letting sleep pull her slowly, gently. The journal lay open, secrets fully revealed, shapes in her mind, shadows imagined, the quiet presence, patient, still, guiding, gentle. Comforting. And Clara surrendered fully to rest, calm, secure, ready for dreams, ready for peace. The last candle flickered softly. The room filled with warm light, shadows dancing slowly across the walls. Outside, the fog lingered, curling gently around the house, quiet, serene, rhythmic. The story had reached its resolution, mysteries revealed, patterns discovered, gentle puzzles solved. And yet the house remained alive with quiet rhythms, soft whispers, gentle shadows, inviting imagination, calm, soothing. Clara's breathing slowed, steady, in and out. Her body relaxed, muscles soft, mind calm, thoughts gentle and slow. The journal rested nearby, a quiet reminder of the story, the house, the fog, the shadows. Shapes lingered in her imagination, soft outlines, subtle movements, peaceful, rhythmic. Night deepened, the fog pressed softly, curling through the garden, brushing against windows, quiet, persistent. Clara closed her eyes fully, letting sleep take her gently. The house, the journal, the hidden messages, the quiet presence, all part of her imagination, all part of her calm journey. And Clara drifted into dreams, slowly, gently, calm, secure, ready for rest, ready for peace. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope the story helped you relax and drift softly into sleep. If you'd like to enjoy a new bedtime story every night, please follow and subscribe, and let your imagination wander gently with each new book. Good night, and sweet dreams.